the way things work today is most times they want you to download an app onto your phone, take a couple of pictures of the damage, send it up. They're going to write an initial estimate and send it to you based on those photos. Those estimates that come back are very little. My advice to everybody in this case is that you get a thorough assessment.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the airing of Grievances. Do not adjust your television set or computer. We're in the same space, which is remarkable because we haven't been for a number of weeks, but here we are, and it looks like that's going to be the way it's going to be for the next coming couple of weeks. So thank you for tuning in. I'm Eric Reamer. That's Robert Grieve. And of course, it's always a pleasure to have you join us. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. If you haven't done it yet, click the subscribe button, hit the notify bell. That tells YouTube to let you know when we throw out another video, or just check your watch. It's 9:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning in the Mountain Standard Time. And if you're new around here, we would love it if you would just click the thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you find value in the content that we're sharing. I think you're going to find out that this is the only channel, as far as I know, in the country, possibly in the world, that is allowing a behind-the-scenes look into the collision industry from the consumer's perspective.
Yeah.
So, help us share the word. That would be super helpful. And leave a comment. That really engages the rest of the audience, and you'll find that some of your questions might be answered in those comments as well.
Yeah.
All right, with that being said, hey, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
So nice
my
to
dear
see
friend.
you.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you.
Right?
Good to be here with you.
And to you guys as well.
Yep.
Listen, today, Rob, we're going to talk a little bit about a radio show that you listen to on a regular, I listen to on a regular, and it's here in the Denver area. It's a show put on by a couple of attorneys, and something caught your ear.
Yeah.
And I want you to kind of share that with these folks here.
Yeah. First off, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, appreciate it. And the comments, they keep this going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I read them, we respond to them. There's so many people that have said thank you for putting the channel on and keeping it going. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it, Eric. I like to bring you things that just come across.
Yep.
Real life stuff. And so this last Saturday, I was driving to work, and I listened to this legal program, Bell Pollock, legal team, the champions of the people.
Yes.
Very, very interesting show from the personal injury perspective.
That's right.
Not from the collision industry perspective.
Yes.
But they said something that caught my ear.
Okay.
And they were talking about insurance companies, because we all deal with the same stuff. And they had made mention of, how do I phrase this? On the personal injury side, if you've been injured and you're seeking compensation or whatever the case may be from the insurance company, they may look at the damage to your vehicle and somehow connect the two dots, which I'm not sure if they can or they can't. Listening to the show, it seemed like there was some legal precedence that there is no connection.
Let's back it up just a little bit, because when you talk about connecting the dots from the damage to the personal injury side, perhaps an example would be helpful. The insurance company may take a look at the damage to your car, and if it's a low amount and they write for a low amount, and we're going to follow up on that, They may come up with the idea of, hey, the car was only injured so bad, so how could you possibly be injured at all or much?
Minimally. Right.
And that's the connection that you're talking about.
That is exactly the connection that I'm talking about.
And these guys on the radio, Mr. Bell and Mr. Pollock, they brought a case study that said maybe this is something that is not new to the insurance tactics.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
I think that's pretty close.
Yeah.
That's pretty close. At least they brought up the notion that, they may take a look at the car, or they're not looking at the car. They're looking at an estimate.
Right.
And say, well, wait a second, your car only has $1,100 worth of damage, and you have all these medical bills and so on and so forth. And that just got me thinking. The way things work today is most times they want you to download an app onto your phone, take a couple of pictures of the damage, send it up. They're going to write an initial estimate and send it to you based on those photos.
And when you say they,
The
AI,
insurance, AI is scrubbing the pictures
for the insurance,
in many cases, yes. So those estimates that come back are very little. They're very, very little. And we can just point to last week's video for an example.
That's a great example.
And in that video, the insurance company came out and wrote an initial estimate of $3,500. Our estimate was $17,000
Right.
after we disassembled it and was able to show the magnitude of the damage.
Yes.
They came back out and looked at it again and added another $4,000. So now they're at $7,000, $7,500-ish.
Right.
Then they came back out again and added another $3,000.
Right.
And then they came out one more time and added another $600 and change. So they're right around a little more than $11,000
Yep.
on something that they initially wrote for $3,500.
Right.
So and here's the point, and here's what was going through my mind. So many times, you'll maybe just take pictures, send it up, they'll give you an assessment, and maybe that assessment's $3,500, yet you're all banged up, or passengers in your vehicle are all banged up, and now there's medical costs mounting and
Right.
so on and so forth. And they're going to look at that assessment the insurance company did and say, well, it was only $3,500 worth of damage. How could you be that badly hurt?
Right.
And so my advice to everybody in this case is that you get a thorough assessment from a professional, preferably a certified shop,
Yes.
certified in that particular vehicle make.
I just want to clarify. You say get a thorough estimate or assessment from a professional, and you're talking about a professional collision repair center,
Yes.
not a professional insurance adjuster,
Yes.
whose job, number one, is to adjust
Down.
down. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that initial estimate that you have, even if it, obviously needed some stuff, they may be writing used stuff or aftermarket stuff or forgetting a whole bunch of procedures that they know
Yeah.
in their heart really need to be done. You're not going to find those on the initial estimate in many cases, and it's going to be very small. So even this company looked at something that said it's $3,500, and a month later they're up to $11,000.
Right.
Our 17 has never changed.
Yeah, that's a great point. My first reaction to you when you say, the insurance would look at that and say, $3,500, how badly could you be injured? And I'm thinking, well, if you used your car to run me over and then backed up and ran me over again, I have significant injuries, and your car may not show much of a dent. Maybe
Yeah.
a bigger dent than if
it'll
it ran
show.
you over. But there shouldn't be necessarily this automatic assumed connection with that. And then what you just said is they went from 35 to plus 4,000 plus 3,000 plus
another
600,
600.
right? They've changed the playing field of their assessments 4 different times, whereas you never changed yours.
Right.
How could you possibly trust anything?
There is all of that, but if you were injured
Yes.
and the estimate is $3,500, would they be looking at your injuries differently than if it's $11,000? I don't know. We're not lawyers. I listened to a legal show. They're lawyers.
Yeah.
And they brought up this whole potential
Yeah.
of looking at something that really shouldn't matter, when it comes to personal injury.
Right.
But especially if you have a personal injury case, you need to have the vehicle truly assessed for what the damages are.
Yeah.
Because that one little initial estimate could land up impacting the outcome without you even knowing. And, we always, assume that they're writing low just because they don't want to pay. But maybe there's another angle to it. And that is, the lower we can make it, the less possible personal injury we might be able to pay out.
Yeah. It's not just paying for the vehicle repair, but they may have their eyes set on all of the things that may be related to, including personal injury. We are not attorneys.
Nope.
But we do have opinions, and we are both united in our opinion that you should check out that Bell Pollock radio show. I'll put the link down below in the description box, and we encourage you to go check this show out. They're located here in Denver, but you know something?
They've come up with some really interesting stuff that I've never heard of before that I found very enlightening.
Yeah.
This kind of tickled my fancy a little bit, and I wanted to bring it to you this Saturday, just as something to mull around and some advice that you really, make sure that the damage to your vehicle is properly assessed.
Yeah.
And that's what I got.
The more global awareness that you have as it relates to what others may be perceiving and the lens they're using to perceive. And that's why we here at this, the airing of grievances here, we try to provide the lens of common sense,
Yep.
of OEM parts and procedures, right?
With the approved equipment.
That's exactly it. And our agenda, we have one, is to make you whole and to do the right job
Keep
the
you
first
safe.
time.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
Keep you safe.
Their agenda may be different than ours. We can't speak to that.
Nope.
All we can say is
Something that makes you go,
yes. Yes. All right, Rob, thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, that's what I got for
Yep.
this Saturday. My dear friends, thank you again for tuning in, for all your amazing comments and questions, and have an amazing week. Eric, congratulations on your upcoming marriage.
I'm getting married in a couple of days.
And to your new bride.
Yes, I guess that'll be today when you see this.
Yes, you'll be tying a knot.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
We all wish you well. And folks, we'll see you next Saturday. God bless. Have an amazing week.